Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. I am Tony Gerdeman here by myself because I'm apparently the only one here without a life. And so there's some breaking news. So we wanted to get this up, and I'm the only person around. So you will be just stuck with me. Don't go away. We're going to talk about it, and we'll cover it in depth, just as we always do. The news coming down late Wednesday afternoon that redshirt freshman safety Jayden Bonsu is going to enter the transfer portal. Bonsu came to Ohio State from New Jersey, where he was a four-star prospect, had some signing day drama when it sounded like Miami was going to get into the picture really, really strongly and threw an offer at him that maybe he wasn't going to be able to refuse. But ultimately, he ended up at Ohio State. He was a member of the 2023 recruiting class, had offers from Ohio State, Miami, Alabama, Michigan. So he was a legit safety prospect. However, in his 2 years at Ohio State, has not seen the field, did not play a single snap, did not record any stats. And so this is one of those that Tom and I always talk about. There's a blueprint for the departures. It's guys that haven't played in a couple of years, get passed by younger players, and Jayden Bonsu fit both of those. And being a redshirt freshman, he had gotten passed by two true freshmen this season in Jalen McLean, who played the third most snaps of anybody among the safeties. He has really taken over in terms of the next guy up, wherever that might be. And we'll talk about that in a bit. And then even Leroy Roker got into a couple of games this year late in the season on special teams ahead of Jayden Bonsu. And you look at last year in the class of 2023, he's been passed by two guys in that class as well, and Malik Hartford and Caleb Downs, who were both true sophomores this year, second-year guys, just like Jayden Bonsu. So all of that lends itself to hitting the portal, looking for a new spot to finally get on the field. And Bonsu had his opportunity this spring. If you remember, Lathan Ransom was out, and so it was Bonsu who was running with the ones most of spring camp with as strong safety. So he got a lot of reps. They got a good long look at him. It seemed like things were going well for him. But then once the true test came and the playing time was more important and the game started, and the coaches have to be much more honest with themselves and the media, you saw who got to play, and it was not Bonsu, who came to Ohio State as like 6'1", 6'2", over 200 pounds, a big safety. He's a hard-hitting guy, a violent defender, but probably a bit of a tweener in terms of, is he too big for safety? Could he become a linebacker? I know we've talked in the past where maybe his progression could follow Sonny Styles in terms of going from a big safety to a fast, athletic linebacker. And, in another day and age, say 4, 5, 6 years ago, we would be talking about Jayden Bonsu as a bullet at Ohio State. Go back 20 years, we'd be talking about him as a star at Ohio State in terms of that linebacker safety hybrid. Jermel Hines, Tyler Moeller, he fit that. And so maybe he goes and finds somewhere like that. I think he has to ultimately find out what he is. He's more of a strong safety than a free safety, maybe more of a will than a strong safety, and and just settle in on get the good messaging from the coaches. Where do they see you? Where do you see you? And find somewhere that meshes. I talked to his high school coach a couple of years ago when he signed. After he signed, I go and try and talk with all of the high school coaches of that incoming class, and he talked about how Jayden may take some time for him because he's always been the biggest kid, the best athlete, and then once you show up to college as a true freshman, unless you're Jeremiah Smith, you're not that any longer. And so there's some growing pains, and it takes some time to get into your groove. And the entire time you're trying to do that, there are other talented players as well who may hit that groove faster than you and then pass you by. as you're still trying to build yourself up. So there you go. Jayden Bonsu off to a new school, and we'll throw the safety depth chart up right now. And to be doing a 2025 depth chart, positional depth chart right now is foolish, but I wanted to give you guys a look at the way things may shake out if nobody else leaves. And if nobody else leaves, color yourself surprised at this point. But in terms of free safety, if they want to move Caleb Downs to free safety or strong safety, they'll have that opportunity. I think they have that flexibility with Jalen McLean, and really McLean and Hartford, they'll continue to compete, even though McLean had more snaps this year. So not a lot, but a few more, which I think is pretty interesting. But Malik Hartford started a couple games as a true freshman in 2023. So that's not nothing. They've got good expectations for both of those guys. So I think your top three safeties are pretty simple. As long as all three are back, would be Caleb Downs, Jalen McLean, and Malik Hartford. That nickel, Lorenzo Styles is kind of the backup now. Do they move somebody else in there? Is there Jermaine Matthews, or is there a true freshman Devin Sanchez? How badly do they want to get him on the field? And what kind of fit would he be there? So the nickel, I think, still has to shake out. Lorenzo Styles has played well as a dime at dime, and this season when they put him out there, and also as a nickel, he's a physical defender as well. You would figure next year would be his best year because he's played this now and is accustomed to it, and we'll see how that all shakes out. It's a long time between now and then. Keenan Nelson transferred in from South Carolina and never materialized, not unlike what they did the year before that, bringing in the Syracuse transfer. That didn't really work out. And so we'll see if Nelson can put it together next year for the Buckeyes. But if you look at what else is on the roster, I think the name for me that you got to keep in mind in terms of safety is Fahim Delane, who is an elite defender, range, size, instincts, athleticism, can run, is pretty much what you would want as a free safety, but also has the versatility to play pretty much any other safety spot as well. Cody Haddad, the other true freshman safety, is a playmaker. He could fit anywhere. He's a tackling machine. He's a hard hitter, and he's just fun to watch. And then Deshaun Stewart, the other freshman, has played corner. So if he's safety size, and he's 6'1", 6'2", good size, they're talking about him as a safety. So when you're already doing that, to me, you're talking about a corner coming in to play safety. That to me sounds like a nickel, a Jordan Hancock type of player who you want them to be able to cover. That's why you're bringing them in. And so this is just a cursory look. This is going to change. Don't hold me to this. Don't write your senators about this or anything like that. This is just a visual aid for all of us to see what is happening and what it looks like right now. And if it looks like this in February or March, I will be surprised. There's too much movement not to see something else happen. Although I will say, speaking with somebody on Wednesday, and I made the joke that, you can't assume anybody's going to be here, even Caleb Downs. And I was talking to somebody who knows. Caleb said, I wouldn't worry about that. So that's some good news for you on this Wednesday, as Ohio State loses Jayden Bonsu to the transfer portal. We'll have more constantly with the portal, the comings and the goings. Tom and I just dropped an episode about Phillip Daniels, the right tackle coming over from Minnesota, redshirt freshman, started the last 4 games of the year for the Gophers. You can go check that out at youtube.com/Buckeye Huddle. If you're watching right now, go ahead and check that out after this. If you've signed up, subscribe to the channel, then you've probably already seen it on your phone or your notifications. And if you haven't, go ahead and hit the bell to be notified, and you'll get the next one. Boom, right smack dab to you. And of course, you can continue to find us at BuckeyeHuddle.com, where we're talking about this and everything else going on with the Buckeyes right now. So thank you all for tuning in. Tom may eventually be back. I don't really need him, but I don't think you guys either. You guys don't either. So thank you all for tuning in. Don't tell Tom I said that, and we'll talk to you guys later.